Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Renee Boxing. This is a platform where we simply discuss, critique, analyze, and simply talk about the sport of boxing in a mature, level-headed, coherent fashion. Definitely, man. Subscribers since day one, recent subscribers, I really appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for commenting in the comment sections, tuning into the premieres of the videos, tuning into live sessions, collaborating, commenting away, chatting away in the live sessions and premieres. I just really appreciate each and every one of you. I have so much fun talking about the sport of boxing and chopping it up, definitely, man. So I want to get to this, man. I want to talk about, the up-and-coming fight with, Sergey Lipinets versus Jaron Ennis. It's very soon, right? But I just want to break down to a certain extent what Lipinets has to say concerning the fight, Everybody knows that this is a great fight. This is a great step up, one of the biggest step up fight in Jaron Ennis' career to date. Real quick before we get into this, it just popped into my mind that we got to understand, man. Some time ago I made a video, concerning Jaron Ennis. His coach, if I'm not mistaken, came out and said in an interview. I got the video on the channel. I think I can leave it at the end of this video, so you can check it out if you haven't seen it. And Jaron Ennis' coach talked about, the top 15 welterweights, if I'm not mistaken, around the top 15 welterweights have denied fighting him. We're talking about months ago. This was months ago that he said this, a couple months ago. And that just goes to show, ladies and gentlemen, that, Jaron Ennis, man, it seems like a lot of these fighters don't want to fight him, man. We just got to be factual here, man. I'm not, you already know, ladies and gentlemen, how I am. I don't, I try not to disrespect any fighter to the best of my ability. I don't think I have. I just give my opinions, that's all, and that's why I always say in my introductions and what this platform represents is, giving, my opinion and just chopping up the sport of boxing in a level-headed fashion. I try to be as level-headed as possible. I try not to get hot-headed and things like that. Sometimes I do little rants, but, they're justifiable. So I try not to, I don't call fighters ducks or what have you, but we got to face the facts, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes fighters avoid fighting other fighters. I mean, it is what it is. And not just that because they're avoiding them. There can be a lot of, there are a lot of implications to making a fight or, negotiations, contractual stipulations and things of that nature, percentages, splits, blah, blah, blah. Promoters, this side of promotional companies and that side and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you know the story there. But the coach, Jaron Ennis' coach, and I solely believe in what he's saying, definitely, that top 15 welterweights are avoiding him, This kind of reminds me of, maybe by the time I post this video, like I say constantly, man, by the time I post this video, it's probably going to change as far as what I'm going to say right now is Herring, Jamel Herring, just beat Frampton. I mean, you can just tell. I've talked about this in live sessions, that Herring, right after the fight, right after he beat Frampton in an impressive fashion, man. Hats off to Herring. Great win, man. Great skills he portrayed in the ring. He said that he wants to go to Valdez, and there is a stipulation there, what have you, by the sanctioning body that if he doesn't fight Shakur Stevenson, then he has to vacate the title. I remember when I was talking about this in a live session a few days ago, that somebody in the comment section said that, unifications trump mandatories. However, from what I understand, it looks like that stipulation is quite clear. He's going to have to do one or the other, Herring. He's going to have to either vacate and go and fight Valdez for that WBC title that Valdez has, or he's gonna have to fight Shakur if he wants to keep that title and fight for it. You see what I'm saying? But we'll see what happens, man. But my point is that Herring doesn't want to fight Shakur Stevenson. You can just tell. If he does, if he fights him though, if he turns around and says, I want to fight Shakur, awesome. Heck yeah. But I just don't think that's the case, So getting back to that, sometimes fighters just try to avoid, the risk. They avoid the risk. And sometimes fighters just opt for, less risk, low risk, high reward, like they say, right? I'm not saying that Herring going to fight Valdez, I'm not complaining about that fight necessarily because I think it's a great matchup. But I'm just speaking generally, like in Jaron Ennis' case. And even to a certain extent in Herring's case. Sometimes they just try to avoid certain fighters, you know? And in Jaron Ennis' case, I think we're going to continue possibly seeing that with Jaron Ennis. But this is the biggest step-up fight for Jaron Ennis, okay? And we see the same thing with several other fighters. I think that Devin Haney is one of them. Like, you know, I don't think a lot of these fighters want to fight him. Same with Shakur Stevenson. I don't think a lot of these fighters want to fight him. I mean, you know, the list goes on and on with several of these fighters out there. You know what I'm saying? So let's check out what Jaron Ennis has to say. It caught my attention. This caught my attention, what he said. We've heard it from other fighters too, but I think there's not much sense when they say this, okay? And it's a trip because I understand. Okay, I understand. I mean, there's so many things to say here. Things just come to my mind. Like I said, I don't take notes. I just, you know, I have in my mind what I'm going to say, and based off of what certain fighters say, and we just go off there, you know? That's how I do my live sessions, too. I have my points, but... So, this reminds me, before we get to the article, man, this reminds me of what, you know, Derek Chisora has said. In the buildup of the originally scheduled Parker versus Chisora fight, I've mentioned it, I've referenced it several times when it comes to this point that I want to talk about that Sergey Lipinets is talking about. You know, Chisora and, you know, they do this face-to-face thing with Parker, whatever. And this was a while ago, man. And according to what we're seeing and hearing, it looks like they're going to fight for real now. Whatever. Parker and Chisora, whatever. But my point in this is that Chisora believes in this. He even said it, man, when he was, you know, in the buildup of the Chisora Parker fight, originally scheduled fight. That was a long time ago. He said, I don't believe in the hit and not get hit theory. I'm paraphrasing what he said, but he said, I don't care. I hit and get hit. I want to get hit. And, you know, he talked about even he wants to get knocked out. It's like, I think that's just a really, that's just, you know, you go into a ring, you're going to fight in a ring, man. You're going to box, BKFC, what have you. I mean, if you say, I don't, you know, I'll get hit, I'm going to hit and get hit, you know, I don't. In other words, if a fighter says he doesn't really believe in defense, then that's quite, man, that, my humble opinion, with all due respect, I think that's a foolish mindset, man. You know, you're inviting to get knocked out. Anyways, man, so Sergey Lipinets says something along those lines, kind of. So let's check it out, man. Right here, boxingscene.com. Link in the description, yada, yada, yada. You already know. So it says, Sergey Lipinets wants all-action fight versus Jaron Ennis. He better not run. Okay, so I hope it's not a 12-round running marathon. Okay, I mean, a running marathon. Okay, so that's what I don't agree with when it comes to what Sergey Lipinets is saying. The thing here is with Jaron Ennis, he doesn't run around. I mean, that's the thing. That's the problem here. You go back to Floyd Mayweather fights. A lot of people criticized Floyd Mayweather for doing that. I mean, people don't understand, ladies and gentlemen, the sweet science of the sport of boxing. I mean, footwork is essential in the sport of boxing. It's beautiful, okay? And it serves for defense. Footwork also sets up for offense. I mean, you see it time and time again with Lomachenko. You see it with several fighters out there. You see it with Stephen Fulton. When Stephen Fulton was fighting on the inside, not running away, you use footwork also on the inside. Stephen Fulton, when he was fighting, Angelo Leo. You see it time and time again with Sean Porter. You know, Sean Porter, he fights on the inside and he uses his footwork beautifully. Footwork can set you up for, you know, offense. It sets you up for offense when you use it strategically on the inside. That's what Jaron Ennis does. I'm not saying that Jaron Ennis fights on the inside all the time, no. But it also serves for offense and defense. Preparing your offense, and it also serves for defense. You know, and a lot of people misinterpret that, you know, going back to that. A lot of people have criticized Floyd Mayweather, you know, and other fighters, generally speaking, man, and they say that they're running. It's not running. It's you know, that's what I'm saying. People don't understand the sweet science of the sport of boxing, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so Jaron Ennis, when he uses his footwork and quote-unquote runs, he uses offense at the same time. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He uses offense. You mix offense with your footwork. You see? So Sergey Lipinets, man, it surprises me that a fighter like that, a pro fighter who has years and years in the sport of boxing, you know, refers to footwork as running. It's quite foolish to think, you know, as a fighter, I want this guy to stand in front of me and let's just go blow. What did Leo Santa Cruz do? Okay, that's exactly what Leo Santa Cruz does constantly. You know what I'm saying? And that's what got him knocked out against Tank Davis. I mean, it's just a foolish approach, man, to go in there and just, toe to toe and boom, 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 boom. It's like, what are you talking about, Sergey Lipinets? Jaron Ennis isn't the type of guy. He's not a runner. He uses his footwork in a strategic fashion. You know what I'm saying? As a tool. To build, to prepare his offensive skills. You sidestep, you pivot also on the inside. That's footwork. It's not running around. Using the ring also. So the thing here that Sergey Lipinets has to do, if he perceives Ennis as a runner, then cut the ring off, man. I mean, there are strategies. You know what I'm saying? Put the pressure. This reminds me of and I reference it constantly, with women pro boxers, and I think it's a shame how they don't get the limelight that they should get. I've been saying that for a minute. This reminds me of McCaskill, Jessica McCaskill, undisputed welterweight champ, when she beat Cecilia Brækhus twice. Great fights, warriors, queens. It's funny because I did a breakdown, and I referenced this several times. I did a breakdown, on the buildup of the Jessica McCaskill versus Cecilia Brækhus rematch for the undisputed welterweight, championship. I broke it down in a video. And it's awesome because, McCaskill's coach, Rick Ramos, if I'm not mistaken, he commented in the comment section of that video and he explained the game plan and what they were going to do. He explained the game plan and what they were going to do before the fight. Several days, it was on the fight week, if I'm not mistaken, or a week before fight week. I don't remember when I posted the video, but it was definitely before the fight. It was days and days before the fight. So, coach comes out and he explains the game plan. I was like, wow, that's awesome. You can check it out, man. It's on my channel. And why am I saying this? Because Jessica McCaskill, she's a type like a Porter, like a Derevyanchenko, like a Joe Smith, inside fighter. And the coach explained that we're gonna pressure Brækhus. We're not gonna give her time to think. Pressure, nonstop pressure. So Sergey Lipinets saying, "Oh yeah, he better not run around." It's like then do a freaking game plan. Your corner has to have a game plan to avoid Jaron Ennis from running around. Because I repeat, Jaron Ennis, he uses his footwork, but he doesn't do it to run around. He uses it as defense. And he prepares his offense with footwork. That's what boxers generally do with footwork. You see, the concept of a fighter running around, it's not an appropriate way of talking about a fighter who uses his or her footwork. It's using it as defense and it prepares you for offense also. So somebody who says that, they don't really appreciate what the sweet science is about. It's a very shallow perspective to think of boxing as you're toe to toe and you're just doing this. Well, that's like freaking street fighting. There's no science to that. That's why I had to make this video, because I've heard it. I don't hear it much, but I've heard it from a few fighters. And I'm not pick-pointing here. I mean, it's several fighters have said it, but the ones that come to mind is like Derek Chisora. He refers kind of to that. Not exactly in those words, but, and Lipinets. It's really a shallow way of thinking of how boxing is. So I reiterate, if Sergey Lipinets perceives Ennis as a runner, then cut the ring off, man. There are ways to halt a fighter who uses his footwork. You know what I'm saying? There's a way to do that. You cut off. You use the jab more. You pressure that fighter. You put him against the ropes. And if he's against the ropes, so he doesn't pivot away, you throw hooks. Keep him in the pocket. Keep him in the corner. I repeat, ladies and gentlemen, those who didn't see, and that's another shame, ladies and gentlemen. I think that it's important. Boxing is it regards it consists of many divisions. It's not just the heavyweights. It's not just the welterweights. And you see, I mean, there are so many divisions out there. You know what I mean? There are so many divisions. Stephen Fulton, you go watching that fight. That was a beautiful, beautiful performance. Stephen Fulton's the type of guy to use his footwork amazingly in the ring, you know? And it prepares him wonderfully for his offensive skills. But when he fought Angelo Leo, he was pressuring Angelo Leo and keeping him from leaving. And that's what Angelo Leo does. It's a trip. So why am I saying this? He kept him from, you know, getting away from the ropes, and he was just, you know, using his body, pressuring him. And those are ways to keep your opponent from running away. So Sergey Lipinets, him saying this, it's like, I mean, if you think that that's what Jaron Ennis is going to do, which I doubt he's going to do, Jaron Ennis is going to put it on Sergey Lipinets, ladies and gentlemen. However, there's a risk, though. You know, if Sergey Lipinets does this, puts the pressure, cuts off the ring, Ennis can be in danger. You see? So bring a solution. If Sergey Lipinets thinks that Ennis is going to run, what's your solution to that? Don't expect that your opponent is going to sit there fighting, just throwing blows and trading blows until the first guy goes, till someone goes down. I repeat, that's a really limited, shallow perspective of the sweet science of the sport of boxing. And for you to think that your opponent's gonna do that, you got another thing coming, man. All right, let's get back to this. So he continues to say, we're ready for everything. There you go. So if you're ready for everything, then don't think it's gonna be, I mean, come on, man. If you think it's gonna be a 12 running marathon and you say you're ready for everything, then you can avoid it from being, quote unquote, a 12 round running marathon. Come on now. So he says preparation is going well. We are training and working hard. He's strong. He's a big guy. Young, hungry, smart, fast. He looks like a middleweight and has a good punch and works hard. I don't think that a lot of guys didn't want to fight him. It's about the title and money. All right. We're not scared. I know we will have a good fight for all boxing fans. That's what we want. So, you know what I mean? So he's talking about, he looks like a middleweight. He's a big guy. Okay. You know, that's another thing here. I just got to say something. I'm not sitting here trying to, I'm not trying to sit here and say that Sergey Lipinets is saying everything wrong. And no, that's what I do. You know, I comment, I analyze, I critic. You know, that's why I say in the introductions of my videos and when I leave, before I go, you know, this is a platform where we discuss, critique, and analyze the sport of boxing. I critique certain things. You know, so that's another thing. I've said it time and time again when it comes to excuses. Don't say, you know, if there are people fighting in a certain division and they make weight, and if he's a smaller guy, oh well, live up to it. You see, that's what I'm saying. I mean, at first I thought it, and I fell into that years ago. I remember one example when Rigondeaux fought Lomachenko. I was one of those people to say, oh yeah, you know, Rigo, he was a smaller guy, and well, if he's a small, okay, so this is the thing that makes me think, like, Rigondeaux, why did you move up then and fight him? There's no excuse here. And I'm not saying that Rigondeaux said that, but a lot of communities said that, you know? And it's like a fighter, if they come out and say that, oh, I was just a smaller guy and he was just big, like what Sergey Lipinets is saying, then don't fight him. You see what I'm saying? Don't step up and get humiliated if you think because he's the bigger guy, you're going to lose. And because, oh no, he looks like a middleweight and, you know, he's the bigger guy. Well, yeah, then don't fight him. Then don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't step up to the plate. I respect Sergey Lipinets for stepping up to the plate, man. Because a lot of these welterweights don't want to do it. They don't want to do it, okay? But there are no excuses here. You know, there are no excuses. Sergey Lipinets, whether he's bigger, whether he, you know, you fight him. You guys made weight 147, then fight. Same with Mikey Garcia, you know, when he fought Spence. No excuses. I don't care what communities are saying it and how many people are saying it. It doesn't matter. A lot of people come out with that lame excuse. No, Mikey Garcia is a smaller guy, and you know, it doesn't. He made weight. Mikey Garcia made weight for 147. He stepped to the plate, and it is what it is. It's a fair fight. Just stop with these excuses. I don't buy these lame excuses, ladies and gentlemen. and much less for professional fighters who know their weight and know what they're doing. You're a professional, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of people don't even understand. Come on now. A lot of people don't even understand what professional means, man. You understand that? A lot of boxing fans, don't even know what professional means. There's a lot when it comes to a definition of professional, the word professional. But part of the definition of being professional, means that you're competent. You are competent. You're competent enough to understand your field of work, your line of work. And especially when you talk about experienced professional boxers, they know very well how to make weight, and if they can fight in that weight division. So there's no excuse, man. If a fighter comes up, like for example, Mike Garcia in this case, I don't know if Mike Garcia said it, whatever, but the community, it's like, yeah, he was a smaller guy, and Spence that's why he overwhelmed him, and no, it was his skills. Spence's boxing skills. Sorry if you guys hear the dogs in the background. You know how it is. It was Errol Spence's skills that dominated. You see time and time again where smaller fighters prevail. There are lots of examples. Andy Ruiz, Anthony Joshua, quick example. I mean, there are lots of examples out there where the smaller guy prevails. Castano versus Teixeira. I'm just giving you quick examples, recent examples. Smaller guys prevail. They can. Canelo. I mean, look at the taller guys he's fighting. Come on now, ladies and gentlemen. It's just a lame excuse to say, oh, he was a smaller guy, and come on, man. That's just not it. So Sergey Lipinets coming out saying, yeah, don't try making excuses before losing, okay? That's just my input on that. So let's continue here. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I love it. So here we're talking about, let's get back to what he was saying. So he said, he looks like a middleweight, okay, and has a good punch and works hard. Well, you said earlier you're ready for everything. So don't start giving excuses beforehand now. Come on now. Hey, but I respect Sergey Lipinets for taking this fight. So, so it's good stuff. He's focused. I'm not thinking about blah blah blah, whatever. Okay. My concentration is only on this fight against Ennis. Good stuff. I need to beat this good fighter, and after I can think about a title. And he knows it. You see, that's what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. When you read the context of what he's saying, he knows what he's facing. When I first saw him before I knew we were even going to fight him, okay, I was like, oh man, this guy is something else. We had to spar a lot of southpaws to prepare for Ennis. Getting the right sparring was critical. We progressed very well with adapting and emulating what he's going to do. Thank you. So, in other words, okay, let's continue. Hold on. It took a few weeks to get acclimated to that unique style. He's not predictable, etc., etc. It's not easy to pin down and know what he's going to do. Okay, we have a plan and strategy in place to make life difficult for him. Okay, come on now. Wait a second. If you're saying, Sergey Lipinets, that Jaron Ennis is going to run the whole fight, in the context it said that you sparred many, southpaws or whatever, and you prepared for a fighter like Ennis, then why are you saying that it better not be a 12-round running marathon when you prepared for a fighter who runs a lot? I mean, it just, that's what I'm saying, man. So there are no excuses. This is what I'm trying to get at. If Sergey Lipinets gets boxed out and looks like an amateur in the ring, there's no freaking excuses. Don't come out when you lose, okay? And I'm being bold. Here. When you lose, don't come out with excuses. Don't come out with, like I said, he was the bigger guy. He looks like a middleweight. He ran the whole, 12 rounds. And so let me just give a quick mini prediction. I've said it before already. I already talked about it in the live session. I think that Jaron Ennis is going to box out Sergey Lipinets, and he's going to make him look like an amateur. I think. If he doesn't, great. It's going to prove for an action-packed fight if it doesn't happen like that, right? If it's proved otherwise, hats off to Lipinets, man. You already know, I don't go for sides. I look at the skills and what fighters bring to the ring. Sergey Lipinets, quite flat-footed. He has the advantage of, pressuring though. If he pressures Ennis and does what I explained earlier in this session, in this video, then he could give big problems for Ennis. And I've explained it in another live session. I've explained it, breaking the, Ennis, Sergey Lipinets styles down and what can cause big potential problems for Ennis. Okay, so what do you think, man? I mean, it's just a video where I wanted to break down what Sergey Lipinets said and what, go deeper into that and what several people say erroneously. But hats off to him, man. It's going to be a great fight. And just to conclude real quick, using footwork is not running around, okay? I mean, got to make that clear, okay? So, I mean, it is what it is. Thank you so much. Comment in the comment section. Go ahead and like, subscribe, share. Definitely Renee Box Young, a platform where we simply discuss, critique, analyze, and simply talk about sport of boxing in a level-headed fashion. Great stuff, man. Thank you so much. Thanks so much for your support. Peace out, fam. Stay safe.